going on, bro?
What's up, Lord?
What's up, Billy? My main
We're here,
man.
brother. Congratulations.
You know, man.
78 views.
Exact. And 20 subscribers, guys. Thanks
thank
for the support, guys.
We appreciate the support.
Exactly.
We didn't think in one episode we would have so many people that support.
Exactly, man. You know?
We really appreciate. We want to get this content as top-notch as possible.
Yeah.
And people are happy with the format that we are using. It's listenable.
Exactly.
I was hearing people say, yeah, we listened to the whole thing. I'm like, oh, wow, you know? That's amazing. So we really appreciate that.
Exactly, man. So we're going to keep it simple for now, you know?
Yes.
Up until, like, we take this whole thing to the studio, you know? And have, like, more proper setup. What's our goal for this week, Billy?
So this week is the content and the editing of the video. It's
going to be like
spick and span.
Exactly.
So that's really what we are targeting this week. And this week, yes, fine. I mean, the content is always great. I think our content is amazing.
It's amazing.
But I think we want to edit it well so that whoever wants to
listen to it
nicely, you know, we can potentially have an audio expert who will play around with it. But what the idea, guys, is that as we do this, we teaching ourselves to do the technical aspects of podcasting, so that one day when we can go into a more professional studio, we kind of have I believe in a deeper understanding and deeper connection with what we do with our work. So I'm a big believer in doing everything from the bottom up.
Which is good, man.
Which is absolute. Otherwise, how are you doing, buddy? How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. In yourself?
I'm excellent, man. I'm excellent. I'm excited about today.
Man, it's amazing.
Today we're gonna have that section where we actually give people certain information on an aspect of wellness that they take home. We did give a few nuggets last week, but today we're really going
deeper.
And we're going deeper on something that you and I understand very well. And that is strength training. And strength training is amazing in so many ways, brother. We don't understand the value of strength training in what it does, not only just to feel good, but what it does for your wellness.
Man, it's on another level.
Health, from your physiological health, from helping you control blood sugar, from helping you regulate your mental moods.
And it helps with the bone density. You know what I mean? So it's the whole. It's on
everything. I mean, just strength training is just
on another level, man. You know,
it's just everything, man. But before we go there, we'll go on the fun stuff.
Let's talk about eggs, man. Let's talk about eggs.
Have you seen the prices of eggs, brother?
Man, it's like crazy. The other day I saw this, like someone was at Checkers. And then 30 eggs, they go on with like how much? 256?
Something like that.
Damn.
But just to give you context, I think the price of eggs has gone up to about double
something like that
in the past 2 weeks.
But
apparently the issue is that there is a shortage in supply because there's an outbreak of this type of an influenza virus called some form of an avian virus. So it's a virus that it's like a flu virus, but that only affects chickens. And man, it's been hectic. So,
man. And there's no eggs. Yesterday I went to Macro, like Pick and Pay, Woolies. There's no eggs, man. You know, it's very rare to find them now. So, and I love eggs, Billy. You know, I eat a lot of eggs, man.
It's almost half of your diet, but
exactly.
But the quality, the thing about eggs that most people don't understand is that the quality of the nutrient and what you call the bioavailability of the nutrient that you get from the egg is uncomparable with most protein sources. So you wanna always have eggs as some form of your protein, that give you good fats as well. Man. But you want it to
you're getting like your protein, your amino acids, everything. You know.
So you wanna have eggs as part of a key element of your diet, and it's very very important.
Which is good.
And in terms of satiety, man, just keeping full. Eggs is one of those meals that allow you to do that because we always emphasize on our people eating high quality protein,
which is good.
Facilitate that,
And like a medium egg has roughly about 6 grams of protein. So if you were to eat like 2 eggs, you've got your 12 grams of protein, which is quality. It's not processed, So, and you get your amino acids, everything, man. Good fats, So do you believe in this when you eat an egg? taking out the yolk?
No, I don't. And I know because of my cholesterol inclination, I'm inclined to hectic higher levels of cholesterol than an average person genetically. Just one of the things I have to continuously monitor and control, in taking care of my health. I know there's always advice around how you should control how much cholesterol you're taking in if you're prone to a higher amount of bad cholesterol in your blood. But there's also a lot of scientific evidence that says dietary cholesterol may not necessarily be contributing to your overall HDL cholesterol in the blood. So, there's that element of debate, and you and I know how in this wellness space people always debate about so many things. So have I stopped? Have I reduced my egg intake and my egg
over the years?
Not really, I haven't. I think what I've noticed is that the lesser I stress, the lesser I look after myself, train nicely, train properly, sleep enough,
things like that.
All those cholesterol readings actually stabilize. Same with my blood sugar readings. So one of the things that if I don't look after my body, I'm likely to get diabetes because of my genetics.
Yes.
But when I'm sleeping well, I'm eating obviously healthier, and I'm sleeping well, and I'm managing stress very well. You find that when I go for tests, my everything is good. But at a time where my stress levels are high, everything is just not functioning okay. You find that my readings are also off. And that's the interesting relationship between stress and wellness.
Exactly.
And this is why, by the way, this month is mental health awareness month. And hopefully we'll get someone who can come and give us a little bit more. There's someone that I know who can give us a lot about mental health. But this is why your mental health
is very important.
It's very important for everything.
So
and that's what people need to understand, why it's important to really manage stress and mental wellness really, really well. And one of the things is strength training.
Exactly, man.
And when we talk about it later, we'll show a bit more on how on how that helps.
So.
Yeah, man. And by the way, we changed our name.
We went from the
Ultimate Wellness Podcast to Inside Wellness. But now
it sounds
But now we are different. Now we are Inside Modern Wellness.
Exactly. I like the sound of it. Inside Wellness.
Because we thought that we are going out there. We are not. Fine. We've got our specialty on wellness. Yes, we are fitness people. But we wanna go out there and really explore different elements of wellness and just get people interested in other different aspects of wellness.
Exactly.
So Inside Wellness was a nicer name for me.
Nicer name.
Because we are insiders in wellness. We have a greater insight into a lot of aspects of wellness. But then when we tried to create our YouTube channel, there was already a page that says Inside Wellness. So then we changed our name to Inside Modern Wellness, which I think is a little bit more.
Which is nice.
Which is a little bit more nice.
I like it. I love it.
I love it, man. I love it. So yes, guys. So if you go on YouTube now, we are Inside Modern Wellness. So that is our new name, and that is potentially gonna be our name forever. But
forever, which is a nice thing, man.
Yeah, man.
And then let's talk about principles of strength training.
So I want to get there. I want to get there on strength training. But
you wanna
I wanna talk about something else.
Something else. What is it? Interesting.
And it's you travel a lot, not you?
I do, but most recently locally.
Where did you go? Where did you go?
The other day I went to Mpumalanga, things like that, and then Cape Town. So I don't know, but I'm planning next month maybe, but I'm not sure yet.
I'm planning on traveling properly next year, not you, because I realized that in the past 14 years of my career, I haven't traveled outside the country.
You've been more locally.
I've been more locally. Yes, I would travel to Zim. I would travel to Swaziland.
Things like that.
I would travel. I also traveled to Mauritius at one time. But I realized that I have not gone to Europe. I mean, I've got so much family, so many people that are family in Europe. I haven't gone to Europe. I haven't gone to the US. And I was like, I need to travel to those places. In as much as in today's modern world, where it feels like it's literally right here. I feel like I need to travel to those places just to see and learn different things and whatever.
Yeah, which is so nice, man.
That's
my goal. That's my goal as well. You know, like just to travel, learn different things. You know, so which is so nice about it. And so and have you heard about those bed bugs
in Paris? You know why I wanted to talk about this is because we always have this concept about traveling overseas as something better than traveling locally. You know, when people go to France, bro, they like, you know, this is the city of love. This is perfect. It's paradise. Oh my God! Wow. But it's not, bro. There's a massive bedbug outbreak in France right now. So that means if you know someone coming from France, you need to fumigate them a bit before they come to your house. And also, I've seen videos of New York. And you see this massive rat, this beast-sized rat.
It's so huge, man. It's so huge.
That's just run around. You know, bro, a city is a city. But and that's what I've learned over time, that, you know, people like to, fine, someone will say, you know, it's so probably different. You haven't been there. What are you talking about? But I think I'm talking about it in the context that in this side of the world, we also have some of the most incredible places to travel. You know, I travel to Cape Town and I'm like, wow, at the beauty.
It's so nice.
Man, you know, it's just incredible. I travel to, you've been to Mpumalanga, bro. You've seen just how beautiful.
It's really nice, man. You know?
Which part of Mpumalanga do you go to?
I went to, what's this, Kruger?
Nice.
And then there's this place, I forgot the name of it, right? But it was like a really nice place, you know? So, and I'm also planning to go to, what's this place? Okay, but I'm from KZN. Drakensberg.
KZN is my adopted home. KZN is my adopted home. When I'm in KZN, I feel like all my ancestors come together and they shake my hand and say, "Welcome home, son." You know,
exactly. They're like, yay. So man. So Billy, and what do you want us to talk about today, man?
So still on that wellness thing. One of the things that I've seen in the US, which is really good. People in the US have these ranches where people go for like a wellness retreat. So
which is
so they would
nice,
book in for like 1 week, or 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, even in some cases. And you go there, you know, you exercise. You're on a certain program of exercise, of spa treatments,
things like that,
healthy nutrition,
and then they also
yoga,
hiking, things like that.
You know, all those things. So, and you know, I'm just thinking. In our country, one of the things that we are currently struggling with in South Africa is employment.
Yeah, man, which is really
my feeling, because you know my other interest is economics. My other interest is business and economics. And when I travel in this country, bro, I'm so wowed at how beautiful this country is. In all the different provinces. If you're in Mpumalanga, your experience is incredible. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's lovely, man.
And then you travel to KZN.
It's
incredible experience.
Exactly.
Different experience. You're in Cape Town, beautiful experience. Different. Go to Clarence in the Free State.
It's
gorgeous place.
Exactly.
Different experience, but absolutely beautiful. Imagine if in this country we would, you know, create systems which allow wellness travelers. Because when I travel in this country, I travel and get to a place where I like relax and refresh, and I come back to Joburg feeling really energized and feeling good. Imagine if we create spaces and places where people come from overseas. We market overseas. You come and stay here on a wellness retreat. You're gonna stay in this place.
You do like different
activities from hiking around the area. I mean, you have a place like the Wild Coast. Have you been to the Wild Coast? But
no, I haven't.
The Wild Coast is the most
around. So
nice, beautiful, semi, a little bit underdeveloped, but
But
you want to go into nature and just
connect with
yourself.
the nature, you know.
It's such incredible. Anyway, so one of the businesses I want to develop in the future is around travel, around wellness travel.
Which we get to experience all these things.
Exactly, you know? where you can bring in people even from overseas. I mean, we know they like to pay more. In fact, it might even be cheaper coming this side.
For them,
But I think we need to get to the point where we develop these wellness packages. Yes, South Africa has a security problem, so maybe those are things that over time a focused government would deal with it decisively. But I don't know if the current government is very focused.
But I'm really not sure.
A very focused government government, if it deals decisively with security issues in this country, and dealing with security issues comes with dealing with poverty decisively.
Exactly.
And I don't know if the current government actually knows what to do with the level of poverty.
Man,
in this
it's
country.
really bad out there.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
people, they don't have places to stay. You know, man, high level of unemployment. You know,
which
so
it's
crazy.
Sad, man. It makes me sad. It
So,
makes me sad. Yeah.
So,
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. So today we want to talk about strength training, brother. How's your strength training program going? Tell me about your strength training program.
It's nice, man. I'm loving it. And, you know, you want to get to a program where it makes you feel good, you know. So you must really enjoy your strength training, you know. So, and most people, I think, Billy, there's two principles of training, right? There's strength training. And which is like, there's a lot of like underneath that topic, right? There's hypertrophy training, and then there's strength training, right? So between the two, let's say you want to transform your body, you know what I mean? So you go for hypertrophy training, right? And if you want to feel good, feel strong, you have to increase your bone density, things like that, right? So you have to go for strength training, right? So, it's so nice. My program, the way like I'm following right now, I'm really enjoying it. You know,
what do you do? Take us through your program. How many times a week are you doing?
Right? 3 times a week.
You only train 3 times a week, bro?
Like strength training. And then in between I have like my cardio days.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
each muscle group, how many times a week are you training a muscle group right now?
I'd say once.
Okay.
But per like session, I try and go for like 2 muscle groups. Okay. So this is like how I break it down, right? So I train shoulders and back. Yeah. And then I skip the following day. I do my cardio and core, things like that. Okay. And then I do like my legs. And then the last session of the week, I do like chest, biceps, and triceps. And then if you're looking at it, I've covered all muscle groups. And then after that I have to focus on my recovery, which is recovering is more important than training. Most people, they think you have to train every day, but you have to recover, because when you're training, you're breaking your muscle, and then you only grow and recover whatever, like let's say during your sleep, and like getting enough nutrition, things like that. Focus on like do your mobility. I don't know how you can, because yes, exactly. So with me on my resting days, I focus on my mobility, which is like it becomes more active rest. You know. So, but I'm really enjoying it. And how's the strength training, man?
So my program right now is this year. Like I said the other time, this year has been my worst year of training. But I'm training enough to maintain my strength. I don't think I'm hypertrophying to my fullest potential.
Exactly.
Because my sort of my training is not as solid as what it was before in the past.
So now you're just getting into it.
I've sort of maintained a nice sustained amount of strength. And like you'll see today after this, I'm going to go do my chest session. But I consider an ideal hypertrophy training. And by hypertrophy, by the way, we mean muscle building. So
not
increasing the muscle size. That's what when you hear trainers say, we're training for hypertrophy.
They're not really just talking about, and which is it varies from rep range as well. So let's say maybe you're training to be strong. You have to play around between 6 to 8 reps.
So, talking about reps, there's an interesting study that I'll tell you about.
And then for hypertrophy, I'd say between 10 and 12. You know what I mean? And you have to really feel the muscle working when you're training for hypertrophy. But with the strength, you focus on, man, I just want to get strong. Lift as much weight as you can. So
at the moment, I push for strength more. So that means that I tend to build, I tend to sort of increase my weight more quicker and
like progression,
quite heavy, without necessarily focusing on how much building. And by the way, you can be strong and not be super big. So hypertrophy depends on an individual's genetics. So there's people that have a certain
level,
high amount of hypertrophy, or the ability to grow muscles quite a lot. And there's some people that actually can be super strong, and sometimes they're not as big as they expected to be.
Exactly. And sometimes some guys, they look good, they look big, but they're not as strong.
They're not as strong, exactly.
You know, so
especially the fake ones.
What do you mean the fake ones? What do you mean the fake ones?
So one of the things about the fitness industry, is you guys are such a scam. And I'm saying you guys, I'm sort of excluding myself, but you guys are such a scam.
What do you mean by that?
You know, when someone is prepping for that men's health shoot and they will be on the cover of Men's Health, there's things that they take. Really? Which allow them to actually give us that ripped look. And then when everyone else who's reading that thing goes on and says, okay, this is the look I want. So I need to train. How do I train to get there? Yes, you can train to a certain level, but chances are that you may not get that Men's Health look, because naturally your body limitation for most people is that you don't get that dry muscle.
What are they taking, Billy? What are they taking?
They will take a lot of things, but anyway, we'll talk about it later. But why that is important for me is because I consider myself an outsider in fitness, so I was never the guy. You know, most of you guys came from like sporting background, and things like that. It's like automatic to get into fitness. So for me, it was more from the academic side, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. How does it work? But over time, I then realized, no, man, you know, these bodies, the way people with these bodies, it doesn't really tally. So there's something that's missing. But over time, then I learned the other tricks that the industry uses, and yet they don't openly say to other people out there that, no, I use clenbuterol to look like this. I use Dynabolt and Trembolone to look like this. And people train hard and think, you know, I want to look like that, and they never get there. And then they like, you know, become demotivated and they stop training. And yet, we are responsible for actually helping people understand that, you know,
there's like certain...
Most of you won't get to that look that you see out there in the fitness.
And there's another thing, Billy, like I see people, they're always chasing this, I want abs. You know what I mean? So in order to see your abs, you have to be on a certain body fat percentage. So, and meaning by that, you have to get below 12%, you know? And you know how much hard work it takes to get to 12%? You know, you have to cut down most your lifestyle. Like I'd say maybe adjust. You're not supposed to like eat junk food, things like that, which is most people, food makes them happy.
Yeah, absolutely. But
you know,
have you recently seen Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I've seen him.
How does he look like?
He looks normal.
It looks normal, right? Because those high levels of build, and you see it in a lot of retired bodybuilders, you almost become normal. And you become normal because a lot of times you're no longer on the stuff that you used to take. But living a normal life means, yes, you still eat healthier, you'll still eat a bit, you'll still maintain some form of leanness. But a normal person would have some abs, but not those abs with, you know, where you actually see the veins running on some of the abs. It's a little bit unsustainable for most people.
And not everyone want to be a bodybuilder. You know what I mean?
And I think we've planted a concept in people's minds that, you know, gym means you should look like that.
A bodybuilder, which is wrong, man.
If you don't look like that, then it's wrong.
That's what I tell my clients, right? You should stop chasing, I want to look like this person. Just focus on yourself. And another achievement that you need to focus on, right? How you feel. That's the most important, you know? So stop saying, oh, I want to look like Billy. Oh, shit, Billy looks amazing. Remember, you guys don't have the same body type, right? So just do what you can. And if you feel good, it's okay. You know what I mean? So that's the wellness. You know, that's the wellness. So
I want us to leave people with an idea of what they need to do when they're in gym. So I'm a very classical academic strength, you know, school person. And one of the things when I got into this industry was the principles of training. And I find that these principles govern all forms of training, including strength training. The number one principle in strength training and any other training, by the way, is the principle of overload.
Exactly.
So when we talk about overload, we mean that you are doing and putting an effort more than your usual normal effort to stimulate whatever the gains and the benefits that you're trying to do. So let's say you normally do,
let's say how many,
you know, a bicep curl with 5 kg dumbbell. You know, that's a normal carrying weight for you. When you're now training to strengthen yourself and build muscle, you apply that principle of overload by doing more than usual in terms of what you do. So, so you're used to 5 kgs. You are gonna use
maybe
start from 6 kgs, maybe 7 kgs, depending on what's comfortable for you. But how do you think what's your ideal way for a beginner to determine what weights they need to use?
Yes. Okay, here's my
How
thing.
do you do it?
Here's my thing, right? And I feel like it's been working for my clients, and for me as well, right? So I have this principle, right? Let's say, Billy, I'm training you, right? You're a beginner, you've never trained before, right? And let's say we're starting on 5 kilos, just make an example. Let's say, okay, I'm going to make an example with the bench press, right? You're benching 5 kilos, right? This is your week 1. Okay, cool. I'm going to tell you, we need to focus on lifting the same weight, but let's do 3 sets of 10. All right? So we do 3 sets of 10. If you were able to do all 3 sets of 10 without me supporting you or without you struggling, right? You're ready to move. I'd say maybe I'm going to add a 2.5. And I've got these weights as well, Billy. I don't know. I bought like 1 kilo plates. So just to help my clients not to do like big jumps. So at the gym, there's like, it's either a 2.5 or a 5. So with me, I have a 1 kilo and a 0.5, right? So, and then next session on like maybe chest day, we increase maybe with that 0.5. So now you're doing 5.5. If you were able as well during that session to do all 3 sets without struggling, we're ready to move up until we get to a level, okay, you've hit like plateau. And then let's say maybe you're doing first set all the way like maybe from rep 1 to 10. You're not struggling. Second set, maybe you're struggling. I'll be like, okay, cool. Your body is not ready to move, right? So that's how I build with deadlifts, bench press, bicep curls, and all of that stuff. Because remember, when you're first starting, you want to build muscle as well. You can't just go heavy because your body won't handle that, right? So you're most likely to build more muscle during the beginning. So most people, I think the key, guys, and it's been working for my clients and myself, build up like that. Rather than just say, okay, I'm going to do 1 set and then increase. You're not that advanced yet. So try and do, okay, I was comfortable doing 3 sets, 10 reps. My trainer, or if you're training by yourself, you were able without even any support or assist, right? So, okay, cool, you're ready to move to the next set, right? Or to the next session, right? So I think that's really working. Like that. So, but most people, they focus on, I want to do first set and then increase on the second set. But there's levels to this. Once you're an advanced lifter, you can do that, increase each and every set. But from the beginning, you need to start progressing slowly, So that's how I do it. And then how do you do it?
So I follow similar principle. I think the principles of progressive overloading in the sense that I want you to when you walk into gym, this is the first day that you're in gym, and let's assume that
you've never trained
to assist you. You've never ever trained
before.
The idea is to lift what you can.
Lift
what you can in what sense? If you can do a weight up to 15 repetitions,
that's light.
That's perfect. That's actually perfect. And why is that a perfect weight for you? It's perfect in the sense that by the time you get to the 3rd set, so normally a beginner, you want to do weights that you can do 15 repetitions of, and you want to be able to do that for 3 sets, whereby by the 3rd set, you're feeling some level of fatigue, and by the time you get to the 13th, 14th, 15th repetition, you really feel like you put in the work. That allows you to not overexert yourself, but you're still stimulating the muscles enough to facilitate the adaptations that you're trying to get.
Okay, that's good.
So you will see that in the literature. In the literature nowadays, back in the day, we still probably do nowadays. I still apply those older principles.
With me, I still think really old school wins, man.
That's all the principles still win. And you and I know that we have a certain level of hypertrophy. So we probably classify hypertrophy training as if you're lifting 8 to 12 repetitions, then that's hypertrophy.
Then below that, strength training.
If you can able to lift the weight, maybe anything from 3 to 6 reps,
or 8
that's maybe
maximum.
You're pushing more for strength. If you're lifting 12 and above, maybe that's more strength
muscle endurance.
But you will find that in literature, there is actually the evidence that's out there shows us that the level of hypertrophy you achieve, whether you're doing a high repetition set or you're just simple pushing a low repetition heavyweight or that medium classic hypertrophy, there's actually very little difference in terms of muscle hypertrophy from all those. And this is why. So why I'm telling you this is to simplify it and not complicate it. Understand that even if you're starting out at gym, and today's strength session, the strength topic is to really help the beginner person.
And I feel like it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's recording. Perfect. Yeah. All right.
All right, Billy.
So
where were we, man?
We're saying that you know, as a beginner, understand that it's okay to lift lighter. Lifting light allows you to progressively adapt to the weight. You don't want to injure yourself by lifting too much too quickly. So one of the things that you know our beginners need to understand is that there's certain levels of adaptation that are happening when you're lifting weights. Your adaptation is happening, yes. Your muscles are getting adapted to the weight, getting stronger, but also your tendons and even ligaments in some instances. Your tendons and ligaments are also adapting to the weight. And tendons are the part of your muscle that connects to the bone. So what would happen if you lift it too heavy without getting the adaptation? Your chance of rupturing your muscles are increased. So you want to avoid that. This is why a lot of beginner lifters who come here and they want to lift heavy because you know the ego is up there.
That's why
you come in and then you injure yourself, and then the next thing you can't even train at all.
You know, and you don't want that, guys. You really don't want that.
And that's dumb. That's not smart. But if you're smart, you want to start light. And then you want to slowly progress it. Because in that progression, the adaptation is happening not just to the muscle, but it's happening to the tendons, to the ligaments. Your tendon stiffness, what you call tendon stiffness, is increasing. The thickness of your tendons is increasing, and that allows as you progressively grow your muscles, it allows enough support of the muscles in a way. And as you lift heavier and heavier, you know that you can do it safely without hurting yourself. So understand those adaptations, and this is why it's important to get into gym and lift lighter.
Progress
it slowly. I would recommend a 5 to 10% progression every week or every 2 weeks.
Because sometimes you might compare yourself with someone who's been lifting for 14 years or 20 years. You're like, why are they doing 30 kilos? And then you're like, you think you can do it? Because they making it look like very easy. But I suggest take your time, you know, and with time. Remember, you're doing this for longevity.
Absolutely, man.
Right? You don't want to just train for 3 months and then now you've injured your shoulder or whatever, you know? So
a lot of injuries happen in gym because people lift too quickly, too heavy.
They want to look like you, Billy.
They want to. I'm a bad example, but too heavy, too quickly, too early. And that's how most people get injured from doing weight training. So that's why we need to ensure that make starting light fashionable. It's okay to lift light because you're still benefiting.
Leave your ego at the door.
You are still benefiting from lifting light. And then slowly from then on you progress it 5% to 10% every week. At the beginning, you know, your progression will be quicker. But over time, as you lift heavier, you know, your progression slows down, tapers down a bit. And you want to just keep it comfortable. Just keep it comfortable. Just enjoy it. You know, it mustn't be strenuous. You said you do each muscle group once.
I'd say
once a week.
It depends.
How's your split? So there's something called the split. By the way, remember, guys, in the beginning you could get away with having a full body session.
But you come to a point where you know it's too much.
But then as you progress it, you rather work in splits. You could work with a 2-day split, a 3-day split, a 4-day split.
Things like that.
Your splits depend on how advanced you're getting and what kind of results are you chasing. How's your 3-day split? Tell me about your 3-day split.
With me, like I said, right? Let's say back and shoulders. I try and do that. And then my second day of training, right?
Yeah.
I do my legs, obviously. It's the big muscle group, right? And then third day of training, right? I do my chest and arms, right? So, and then that's the whole body, right? And then in between, obviously, I allow my body to rest, right? But I feel like if you're starting, you should focus on like you said, full body, right? I think that's gonna take you a month or so, and then you start feeling, oh shucks, hey, these full bodies, like by training full body every day is very intense. But even when you're a beginner, you don't have to train every day. You do not have to train every day, guys. So what you need to do,
what's the ideal number of training sessions?
I'd say for me, 3 times is good. And then just focus on in between. Remember, you still need to, there's no such thing as when you're doing your cardio, you're losing muscle gains, right? You still need cardio.
Yes, you will lose muscle, by the way, if you're not eating enough protein, but it's a story for another day.
And then, so I feel like 3 sessions a week, it's perfect. And then it's gonna allow you to rest in between. Remember, when you're training, you're breaking your muscles. You need to break in order to, obviously, to make new gains and all of that stuff. So I feel like focus on like full body. Let's say you are training on Monday. You do a full body on a Monday. Tuesday, if you've got time, go for your like cardio. Or if you can't go to the gym, walk outdoors. If you've got a dog or something, walk with your dog. Things like that, you know. And or go for cycling, whatever. So, and then Wednesday, back at it, full body again. Thursday, focus on mobility, which is a lot of people, they neglect mobility, right? And okay, cool. And then on Friday, hit another full body. Saturday and Sunday, you can relax, focus on your nutrition, things like that. So
So speaking of full body, again, you have to organize the training in such a way that you know all the muscles are kind of covered. So how do I do my training? How do I do my training? Let's assume that I'm doing full body. Let's say I'm being lazy and I want to do a full body session. Because I'm just at that point where I'm just like saying I'm just maintaining my strength. So you would
you don't have time.
So you don't have time as well. So your split would have so you'll probably look at 4 different exercises, right? And by the way, guys, when you're a beginner, doing just 4 different exercises is enough.
It's enough
for you,
you know.
When you walk to gym. So I would look at 1 exercise for the legs. So I would say maybe a universal exercise. You're a beginner, so you don't know how to squat properly. So maybe work with the leg press at gym. So go to gym,
like
work with a seated leg press
or leg
that
extension,
allows you the muscles to really do the work. And then I would say you want to look at the next split and say, okay, I want to look at my push upper body groups. So your push upper body groups. And by the way, this is not like classic textbook. This is written in a textbook. This is me giving you an easy, practical way of following when you're starting out at gym. Then you'll say, my push upper body, your push upper body will be either a chest press or an overhead press. So you've done a leg press, you've done it, you do a chest press or an overhead press, or you could do them together. So you do a chest press and an overhead press. And then you go for your pull upper body, which is like so you've got your push and you've got your pull. So your pull, classic pulls would be your lat pull downs, or your low rows, or even your high rows, depending on you know whatever you feel like on that day. So and then your fourth one will then be a core focus. So your core focus could be any ab exercises. Most of you like to do a plank. Most of you like to
leg raises, things like that.
That's why you've designed a split that allows sort of all your muscle groups to be engaged, because when you work your chest, for example, when you do a chest press exercise, you're still working your triceps, you're still stabilizing with other muscles in your body. When you do your shoulders, you still do the same. When you do your pull groups,
your bicep,
you are using your lats at the back muscles, but your biceps are still working. Other muscles that support, that are in synergistic with the bigger muscle that you're using are engaged. That way, you know that you've covered the major muscles in that movement. So just 4 exercises. So for example, you could have day 1 of your full body could be leg press, chest press, low rows, and the plank. You rest the next day. You come back on Wednesday. You do hamstring curls. You do maybe shoulder press. You do lat pull downs.
Yeah.
You do ab crunches.
Maybe you throw in a bicep curl or whatever.
You know?
If you want
full
to.
Body set, 4 exercises, you're done.
You rest the next day.
On Thursday, you come back on Friday. Friday, maybe you do tricep dips.
Oh yes.
Maybe you do leg extensions.
Yeah, things like
maybe,
that. Yeah.
You know, so in
you
that
try,
way,
yes.
You are varying the different exercises, but in principle,
Yeah.
you're still allowing the different parts of your body to have a full training session.
Yeah.
And that's why your body benefits better. And by the way, I emphasize the push and the pull element.
Which is so nice. Eh?
Why is that important? It's because when you are training, you want to ensure that you work the antagonistic muscles.
Yes.
So by antagonistic muscles, it's muscles that are working opposite to each other.
Exactly.
So if you're gonna
make an example,
you also wanna pull.
Which is the bench press, or like maybe a bench press.
Yes.
And a low row.
Exactly. You're gonna do a bicep curl. You also have to work your tricep.
Yeah.
So you want to work muscles on both sides of the body. So your session, your alternating sessions as a beginner. Let's assume that you stick to this principle 4 exercise day. You're a beginner. 4 strength exercises are perfect. Good enough for you to start.
Perfect. Yeah.
So if you
most people, Billy, right? They, like you say, I like what you're saying, man. You know, they wanna do a lot of things. Now you see a person now is doing a bench press. Now he's doing this every day. So like I feel like you say, stick to those 4 like sessions. You repeat that.
Absolutely.
Remember, you're still a beginner. You know, and you mostly gonna benefit from that.
Absolutely,
you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man.
So guys, you want to just get on with it. And 4 exercises a day. Is enough to stimulate what you need to stimulate, but not annoy you to feel. Because most of us, let's face it, we don't like training, but no one likes training.
I hate training.
People, we enjoy it, we find a way of enjoying it, but trust me, if we had a pill that will give us muscle and make us fit, we'll take that pill any day.
So even myself, Billy, right? I hate training, man. You know, I've been training for 17 years now, but every single day I have to drag myself.
You have to drag yourself, but and that's the nature of it.
I hate training.
So you end up finding a way of enjoying it in a certain way, especially when you start feeling your body feels good when you train. You know, you feel functional. But not only that, in terms of your health. If there's one form of training you must not miss on, what is strength training? Metabolically, bro, what it does for you.
Nice, man. It's so nice.
So metabolically, the more muscle mass you have, the better your sugar control is it. So the more muscle mass you have, your body is able to control blood sugar better. It's able to use more energy. Because at the end of the day, when you talk of metabolism, the way that we understand it in health, we are really looking at how quickly are we burning anything in our body. And your body burns energy better. And it helps, more muscular. Yes, and it helps you burn calories as well, like you said. Exactly. So energy and calories.
And fat, you know. So the more muscle you have, it helps you burn more fat. You know, which is it's so nice.
So for body composition, guys, you will find that the more muscle you have, the better your body is at in fat usage.
Yes, which is nice.
Which is really what you want. The better your body is at in using fat. And a lot of your body composition, needs require that you have less body fat because more excessive body fat, which nowadays is the classic cause of obesity. Which comes with so many lifestyle conditions. Diabetes comes with so diabetics. Or let's start with insulin resistance. So you start off with insulin resistance, which then
it's common.
Leads to diabetes, which eventually leads to other medical complications. I mean, if you look at the list of medical conditions that come up with insulin resistance, it's literally every single lifestyle condition. You actually increase your chances of living long. By solving how your body deals with the sugar. By up to 70 to 80%.
Man, that's amazing.
Imagine if you had a medication that allows you to increase your chances of longevity by 60 to 70%.
Man,
it's incredible, man. So as a health, not only do you do strength training as a way of just looking good and having muscle, but you're doing this type of training.
It's gonna help
because
for longevity.
It's gonna help you,
10 years from now, 15 years from now, and it makes you feel good, feel young. You know, since you got kids, Bill, you want to keep up with your kids, man.
You don't want to, be pulling muscles or can't walk or you can't do things. And for ladies, a lot of ladies come and say to us, I want to train. I want to do some training, but I don't want to have these muscles. Do you know how hard it is to have muscles?
What do you think, Billy? Like, I get that a lot. They're like, I don't want to look like a man.
Yeah.
That's what they say. So I'm still chasing those muscles.
So ladies, you need to do strength training. You need to do strength training.
It's more...
Because, first of all, you can never look like a man.
Never.
Unless you are taking
some stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
this is what I was saying to you, that the wellness, the fitness industry can be a scam sometimes, because we don't tell truth to the people. People see there's bodybuilding ladies that take some other extra stuff to try and have
and
that
they think
physique.
they're going to look like that.
And then they think that, it's because you go to gym and you train. But no,
man.
You don't. Ladies don't have testosterone, so therefore you do not have the ability to build like a man.
Yes. Which is like, obviously, they have more estrogen than testosterone, right?
Exactly.
So like, they have this thing. If I do a bench press, I'm gonna look like a man, you know. So which is ladies, it's like, it's important to do strength training, right? It's gonna help you. Remember, your bodies, like a female's body have more higher body fat than muscle.
Generally,
they need to do strength training to build muscle, you know. Unlike us, it's the other way around, you know.
So it's important in that sense that also as you approach menopause, one of the things that you will struggle with is your bone density issues. A lot of ladies develop bone density issues towards menopause, but then if you are doing strength training,
you can
find that you can prevent that because as you train, training allows an increase in bone density. It allows the deposition of calcium, a little bit more calcium into your bones, and it allows bones to be a bit stronger. Still follow your doctor's guidelines, still follow your nutritionist guidelines on other things, but and also understand that when you put yourself on a strength training program, on a weightlifting program,
in the long run,
it will help you in the long run in maintaining your bone density.
Stop this thing. You're gonna look like a man. Stop it, ladies. Stop it.
You'll never look like a man as long as you're not taking extra testosterone. And then what age do you want to be when you start strength training? Who should we exclude?
Who should we exclude?
So literally, a 90-year-old grandmother can start a weight training program.
They can.
Your 5-year-old son can start a weight training program. There is this misconception that around
it's gonna kill your height. That's what they say. What are they saying?
It's gonna cause you to sort of stunt your growth. It's such a weird misconception, because when you look at children playing, children are either pulling themselves over things, climbing stuff.
They do monkey bars, things like that, you know?
Or they are always throwing things or pushing things or lifting up heavy things, lifting each other up, throwing each other onto the ground. That is strength training. So all children, all of us should be standard growth by now. So you can start putting your kid on some form of a strength training plan as early as you want. And remember,
just like me, I started when I was 12.
Exactly. So the key is to know that you at younger ages, you're not necessarily trying to push for excessive weight. You're just trying to push for a level of, they can lift this weight comfortable, but also they are doing the movements properly. Because one of the things that you want to avoid doing as you do your strength training is that you do things badly. And that's why we recommended machines when we were speaking earlier. We said start with a leg press, not a squat.
Not a squat, because you can't do it properly.
You can't do it properly.
You can't lunge properly.
Start with a chest press machine instead of a bench press, because you probably can't lift it properly in the beginning. So with kids, you want to focus on them doing the movement right, the movement pattern right, because over time, then when they graduate, as they get older, to lifting a bit heavier, then they're able to do the movement safely. So that's what you want to focus on. So strength training is safe for everyone.
Everyone can do it.
90-year-old granny
can do it.
She needs to get a bit stronger.
Strength training.
sit here on a high chair, sit and stand, granny up, down, sitting and standing on a chair. That's an excellent leg training session. Get some TheraBands. Hold on to your TheraBand, pull. Hold on to the wall, just standing against the wall, push yourself against the wall. That's your strength training.
Give them like dumbbells. They do a farmer's walk. That's going to help.
It's very functional. It allows them to improve their balance and mobility.
Things like that,
beyond just the strength.
So nice, man.
So you want to have those. You want to have those. You want to have that understanding that strength training in its essence is good for all of us and for everybody.
That's good. And Billy, okay, I want us to talk about this one, man. I want to talk about this one. So supplementation. So most people, they're like, okay, I've been training and they don't really know what supplements to take. What's your take on that?
Now when it comes to supplementation, guys, it's a very messy industry, like all other aspects of fitness training. I'm a fitness trainer, but I confess the scams that sometimes we are putting out there as an industry. And this is why this podcast is important, because we want to do away with all those things. We want people to really understand the value of fitness and being healthy and the right nutrition, the right supplementation. Now when it comes to supplementation, there's a whole lot of things that are sold out there. But when it comes to scientific literature, there's probably three supplements that potentially have shown that these can actually do what they claim to do. And one of the easiest one is extra protein. So guys, I need you to understand that chances are that you are not eating enough protein. No matter who you are, no matter how much you think, chances are that you're not eating enough protein.
And let's start with this, bro. Right, Billy? Let's start with this. Most people, they don't understand. They don't know how to count their protein intake. So let's start with that. So let's say maybe you're weighing 70 kilos. How do you count your?
So the easiest way to know how much protein you want to take, the current recommended amount of protein,
which is like
it's 1.8.
Which is like, let's round it off to 2 grams.
So 1.8 grams for men is 1.8 grams per kilo
of body weight.
And then it's 1.6 I think for ladies. But as a guiding rule, I think if you're working with 2 grams, and by the way, this is not nutrition advice. Still consult your nutritionist to tell you one of the days we'll bring in a nutritionist who's going to give us even more data on this. But as a going guide, if you're doing 2 grams of protein,
let's say you're weighing 70 kilos
per kilo of body mass. That means if you weigh 70 kilos, that's about 140 grams
of protein a day that you need.
140 grams of protein in terms of what? Let's look at it in terms of chicken.
That's
chicken
fine.
breast. Okay, let's just cut.
So we're gonna use. I've got this app that I use, guys.
Okay, Show
us about it.
So 140 grams of protein.
So I like to
in
use
terms of
this
chicken
app, guys. Right? It's called Fat Secret, right?
Okay, Fat Secret.
So and then what we're gonna do?
So
let's say chicken breast, right?
140 grams chicken breast. How many chicken breasts will that be? And by the way, we live in the information age. You now no longer need to have everything on top of your head. You can check on an app, on any other platform that you can.
You can.
But you need to understand the principles, guys.
Exactly.
I think most people, what they miss is that they think that in information age it means you know everything. You need to study and understand the principles, and then the apps and Google can help you document those things.
So it's gonna be a lot of chicken, man.
So, but how many?
Let's say. Let me. Okay. So look, guys.
Here.
So let's do it like this. 100 grams.
A little AI chatbot here.
So let's do like this, guys. 100 grams of chicken breast. It's equivalent to 19 grams of protein.
Okay. So you know how I want to do it
like that.
I want someone to look at it in chicken breast terms. So how many chicken? If I'm 70 kgs, how many chicken breasts
that you need to eat like a day?
Right, so let me just go on my little science quiz thing.
Let's do like this.
I keep the science thing here because it's very good for me. So 140.
It's probably like roughly 750 grams of chicken. But that's like 750, it's like 144 grams of protein.
Okay.
750 grams of chicken.
Right.
But that's like how many chicken breasts are roughly 7 chicken breasts.
Okay,
that's a lot. Let me double check, guys.
How many chicken breasts in 140 grams
They say 140 grams of,
Okay, all right, so let's go.
140 grams of chicken, right?
This little Google element of mine is going to So we're working with just 140, but remember, everyone has their own different amount of protein that they should work with.
Exactly.
So a 70 kg person, I'm like 100 kilos, so
that's
too little protein for me to sustain my body mass. But someone who's 70 grams, yes. I mean, 70 grams. Imagine if you're 70 grams. so yeah. Excellent. So then.
But roughly, to make it easy, Billy, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if you're eating 100 grams of chicken breast, right?
Yeah.
That's going to give you 19 grams of kilos, right? So if you times that by, let's say, 7 chicken breasts, that's 700 grams.
Yeah.
It gives you 134 grams.
Okay.
That's equivalent. It means you need about 7 chicken breasts. Yeah, but so 100 grams, right? So it depends which app you're using. Yeah. And with me, I'm old school, man. You know what I do?
So depending on the size as well of the chicken
as well.
Breast.
Some chicken breasts they're like
5 and 7.
It's fine.
My little thing there is giving me 5
and then
to
sometimes 7. If you get like a thick chicken breast, it's like 150 grams, which is going to give you more protein. It can be like maybe 5. Let's say 5 and 7.
Yeah.
So
So I think at the core of it, then it would be that. You want to just work with that formula, guys, of 2 grams, just to round it off, 2 grams of protein per kilo of your body weight, and then that way you could then put in whatever other stuff that you like to eat.
Yeah,
and at the beginning, it's a bit harder. Because you kind of don't have it in the head, but over time
you get used
to it. I think in our next session, what we've planned macros. We want to talk macro. We want to go deeper
how
on
do you count
macro. Hopefully we'll get a nutritionist as well. But I think
so, man.
What will get you, what will give you guys will be quite helpful either way. Even if we don't have a nutritionist. But today we're just looking at supplementation for just the muscle building. So we're saying that most things that are out there don't really do the work that they say they do. And
I'd say. And then what do you think of creatine?
So that's what I'm saying to you. I was saying to you initially that in terms of supplementation, whey protein is the ultimate supplement because then it does what it says it does. It augments your protein intake. And trust me, like I said, with normal day-to-day eating, chances are that you're not eating enough protein at all. And therefore, whey protein could be a great supplement to augment the amount of protein you have. And by the way, an average scoop of whey protein can give you up to 27 grams of protein, which is a great amount of protein, guys, to augment what you need to do. So that's what,
and Billy, I have this thing, right? Unless if you've got time, right? So if you've got time to prep your meals, things like that, you can use a supplement as like an extra. Let's say if you were not able to meet your protein targets, then you can take whey protein. But if you're eating enough protein from solid food, I don't think it's really that important.
No, it's not for most people. In fact, I always say that the problem with the supplement industry is that it's badly regulated. So sometimes what they say is in there may not necessarily be there. But for an average guy or girl, who wants to start training, and they know that chances are that they're not eating enough, yes, definitely go for the whey protein. Over time, you can discipline yourself into using real food.
Exactly, which is good.
Which is good if you can. But I think most people that we meet out here,
they don't have time
with time in terms of prepping food. They end up buying random things and random takeaways, and that's where your eating goes out of the window. But if you keep a bit of protein powder with you, assuming that it's manufactured by a reputable company, they say what is in there is exactly what is in there. Then that way, I would encourage you to work with that. And then you had mentioned creatine phosphate. So creatine is the other supplement that actually does what they say it does. It helps you just augment your sort of your energy when you're training.
Your endurance.
Because it is also part of your energy currency. So let's call it an energy currency in your body is something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So ATP is the end part that your body uses energy. But also in anaerobic conditions, where you are not using oxygen as such, like for example, lifting something, your body doesn't necessarily use oxygen there and then. So you find that there's also another element called creatine phosphate, which is also another sort of a part of the energy currency that is available for the muscle to use. And therefore, taking creatine as a supplement allows the facilitation of extra energy. So definitely creatine can boost your ability
energy levels, which is good.
To lift higher, which is quite good. So those are the two supplements, especially for a beginner. Someone who wants to strength train as a beginner. If you want, if supplements motivate you, because I know some people love to see the containers of supplements, and I'm gonna have my pre-workout and whatever.
This is that.
Creatine phosphate.
And whey protein. We said whey
protein are great.
Yeah, those two.
Pre-workout. What's your take on pre-workout?
With me, I don't use pre-workouts. You know why? I used to do it, right? I used to take like pre-workouts before. I used to take them. I'm not gonna lie. But I realized it messes up with my heart rate. I don't really enjoy the session because like now my heart rate is so high, you know? And I don't enjoy the feeling, man. Itchiness,
you could get a heart attack from
you can, man. If you overdose that, you can get a heart attack.
Guys, pre-workouts are very popular because they give you that fuzzy feeling. But at the core of it, they actually don't do much. It's mostly an overdose of some form of caffeine or any other stimulant, which sometimes can be detrimental to your health. Caffeine on its own, you could get it from a coffee. All right, perfect. Yeah, we can go. Right, so caffeine on its own generally we call it an ergogenic aid in fitness science. It's a good ergogenic aid in the sense that it gives you a boost. I mean, you've seen the coffee that I drink here at work. I can literally feel
it's so nice, and I use that before my training as well, like an hour before, which is perfect, right? It's not as strong as
it's not as strong as some of these pre-workouts that you get out there, which are really trying to make you feel. So you don't need a pre-workout.
You don't. I don't think you do. You don't need it, man. It's not a nice feeling. You don't really enjoy. Some people they do love it. You know?
And remember, we're a wellness podcast, so we want to advise you on what is healthy to do. So we're not bodybuilding. This is not a bodybuilding podcast.
We're like
wellness podcast, and we want to bring in some of the principles of training and good strength training and good nutrition to this podcast. And then fat burners.
Man, the fat burners. I don't know, not lie, man.
Because we want to see that muscle. When I'm training now, I need the fat burner. I want the muscle to come out fast.
And then people will like,
a newbie will want to have a fat burner.
They'll be like, I need to take this pill so that maybe 4 weeks from now I've lost 10 kilos or whatever kilos or 5, which is. We always hear like these ridiculous numbers. I want to lose 10 kilos in a month, you know? So based on fat burners, man, I don't think they really work. That's my opinion. So I'd say most people, they have this thing, I'm going to take this pill and eat whatever. Because remember, most of the weight loss comes from nutrition. So you can't take this pill and say, I'm going to undo eating whatever that I want. So for me, I don't think they really work, right? So unless if you're following a specific nutrition or diet, you know? So that's why most my clients, I don't really say, okay, go for a fat burner, things like that, right? So for me, Billy, they don't really work, you know? So, and then what's your take on that?
Fat burners are nonsense.
You're straightforward, I was trying to sugarcoat it, right?
So there is an element of the only one that actually does a little bit of the work. Butyrol is actually dangerous and can kill you. And it's a banned substance.
Which is you can't get it at like.
Bodybuilders use it a lot of. Recently, a very Springbok athlete was caught using butyrol.
You know,
which is, so maybe he was under pressure to make it to the team, whatever, for whatever reason.
And which is you can't get it like.
You can't just get it, like walk into your shop and get it. And you don't need it because it can kill you. You don't need that
so
nonsense.
That's why we say
guys,
it's nonsense.
Fat burner is, if you want an ultimate fat burner, watch your nutrition, watch your calories.
There's no special pill that you can take this and lose 10 kilos. No, there's no magic pill, guys.
When we talk about weight loss, we'll talk about the magic pill, but there is a magic pill to lose weight, though. But we'll talk about it
next time.
Next time when we talk nutrition and weight loss. The next podcast. But yeah, guys. So today's set, like we said, the key takeaway is strength training.
And then
everyone needs to do strength training.
Yeah,
start off easy.
Of what age?
Cover 4 parts of your body in your session when you're starting out. Your legs, your pull, your front, push, and then some core exercises. That's a simple way that you can start off. Yes, you'll go online on YouTube and check as you advance yourself. But if you're able to do consistently for a month, you're able to take this advice of saying, I'm going to do 4 exercises 3 times a week. Then you've started strength training.
Exactly.
That'll be good enough for you.
And guys, don't rush
and follow that principle of saying, I'm going to work this part of the body, that's the leg, the pull, the push, and the core. Then that's a simple principle. And it's not a principle you'll go and find in a book. This is a simple principle you can follow practically and do it.
And the take on for today, right? So, and what I mentioned earlier on with this, how are you gauging whether you're getting strong or what? Stick to those 3 sets, right? Let's say you were able to do all 3 sets of 10 reps, right? And then it means you're ready to move on to the next, like adding weight or things like that. But if you can't do 3 sets without struggling, then you're not ready to move, you know? So it's either you stick to that, and then, but most likely, if you're a beginner, obviously you'll be progressing,
If you're a beginner, you're benefiting from every single moment that you lift the weight.
Any type of training, you know? So yeah, guys, and the nutrition as well.
It's very important.
It's very important.
It's very important. And so for me, key takeaway with nutrition is that protein is king.
That's
protein is king, guys. And when you're eating, every meal has some form of protein. Chances are that you'll eat less of the sugar that makes you gain weight.
And in terms of nutrition as well, on my side, like Billy said, protein is king, right? And make sure, guys, focus on proper meals rather than maybe you can add a supplement if you don't have time, guys. We didn't say just take 140 grams of protein from a supplement, right? And then you neglect like proper meals. Stick to your main proper meals, and then if you feel like you didn't meet your protein targets, and then you can use like a whey protein or whatever, right? So yeah, guys.
So beyond just getting a good physique, strength training, like I said earlier, that it's become an important element for longevity. And that's one of the things that I want. That's the thing that I really want to. I'm really want to give it a bigger focus, because yes, longevity doesn't mean that I'm probably not going to live forever. No. But it simply means that in that time that I'm here, I'm able to do whatever I need to do as comfortable as possible. But I also increase my chances of living long if I'm doing strength training. So guys, it's important for longevity. But talking about longevity, very interesting research is coming up on longevity. I don't know if you've seen on Netflix that a program on the green zones.
I've seen it, but I haven't watched it.
So there's areas in the world where basically this researcher goes around and looks at different places. One of them is Osaka in Japan, where he sees that certain populations tend to live long. Tend to live long, because they tend to live up to 100. So an average elderly person is living up to 100. But when you watch all the episodes, you realize that there's certain principles around it which are still about exercise. It's about social health, social cohesion,
things like that,
being with family, eating your nutrition. So the core of it for me, my key takeaway was that your nutrition is extremely important.
It's important.
If you're eating refined foods all the time, chances are that you're not going to live long. You're exercising and staying mobile is very important. Staying mobile and being with family, that health, that social health is important. So that's what you see really with the green zones.
Wellness, you know.
But then the other interesting thing, I think I don't know if you managed to see that video, that link that I sent you yesterday.
Yeah, man, it's interesting, but I didn't finish it. We're gonna touch on that on the next episode.
Okay, so there's a very interesting. In fact, we're gonna touch on longevity a little bit more. More
detail.
But there's an interesting element about how we are simulating with AI to increase our lifespan. Very interesting. So we'll cover that in the next set together with our on. Right. So we're saying.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're saying we're talking about the longevity. I think in our next episode we're gonna
touch on that. On
longevity. And just how other than the green zones, some extra things that we found in the green zone. We're gonna look at nutrition, macro
things like that.
Nutrients a bit deeper. And just how AI is coming to we might live forever.
Exactly.
The dream.
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
Dream about living forever is possible through AI.
I know, man. I know.
And there's a lot of exciting things, man. And I want to tell you my theory around what I think about because one of the things about people is that we're chasing eternity, whether you're doing it religiously or you are trying to
things
stay
like
as
that.
healthy as possible. So there's an element of us that are trying to chase living forever. And with AI, there's a chance that we might actually live forever in a way, in some form or the other. But anyway, we're going to touch that on next episode, guys. Take away, Nosji. Take away from today.
Guys, just enjoy, man. Just enjoy, and like we said earlier on, right? Focus on like progressing, right? And then make sure don't just like go in the gym and you try and lift as many like whatever weights that you can, right? So what you need to do, guys, like make sure you're progressing, overload, and then like take your time. Don't rush the process, Take your time, and then focus on your nutrition as well, and then enjoy.
I will leave you with a few principles, guys, on training, principles of training, standard. This is applied to every part of your training. So obviously, what governs strength training is the principle of progressive overload.
Which is
so
nice.
You're lifting more than you normally lift, and that stimulates the adaptations that you're looking for. And then there's principle of specificity. So we say to you, for you to train your chest, you have to do a chest press as the particular exercise.
That's a compound movement. That's a compound.
For you to train your legs, you have to do maybe a leg press.
Things like
as
that.
As a leg. You can't train your leg. You do a leg exercise and expect that your chest muscle is going to get stronger. So that's the principle of specificity. Your lifting should be specific to whatever part of the body that you're trying to train. And that's why we gave you 4 different exercises covering 4 different parts of your body. And then there's principle of reversibility. Basically, you don't use it, you lose it. Once you start training, your body adapts to the training. But when you stop, the body adapts the same way again, but this time in reverse. So if you don't use it,
you lose it.
And this is why you want to consistently maintain your training at all times. The body is designed in a way of, I don't know, in physics, it's called the law of conservation of energy. So our all systems, biological systems, are designed to conserve energy of some sort. So if it doesn't need something, it doesn't use it. It takes it out. So if you're not using your muscles,
you're gonna lose them.
You're gonna lose them because the body then cancels them.
Man.
So that's the third principle. There's another one that I'm missing. I know there's 7 of them.
I think quite obviously those 3 are the most important.
Let's see. I think it's recording. Is it recording again?